We all know the San Francisco 49ers probably have the best roster in the entire NFL. Obviously, coming from us might sound a little bit biased, but I think we all understand where this roster ranks against everyone else. It's definitely at the top. And when PFF does their top 50 players of the NFL heading into the season, the San Francisco 49ers had 7 players show up on the list. But I think the most remarkable thing about it was that they had 4 players in the top 10. Hey, that's pretty special. Accounting for 40% of the top 10, I think is a pretty awesome testament to the way the San Francisco 49ers have gone about building this roster. And it's been pretty special to see. But obviously, there's a lot of things, a lot of moving pieces moving into this next season. And especially with these two guys right here, where our ranking starts at the very end. PFF has ranked Brandon Ayuk the 49th best player in the NFL, and Deebo Samuel right behind him at 50. Now, it's awesome to see a duo of wide receivers for the San Francisco 49ers both make the top 50. I think we all agree that they are both very talented. I think we also understand that they're talented in their own ways. Deebo Samuel can do pretty much everything for the most part behind the line of scrimmage, at the line of scrimmage, and or just get the ball in his hands. Now, he's not going to be your prototypical X wide receiver where he's winning deep routes downfield. Not that he's not capable of it. It's just not been a consistent part of his game since he's entered the league. Where we see Deebo Samuel thrive is when you put the ball in his hands and just let him go, and he turns into a hurricane of pain. So seeing him at number 50, I like it. Brandon Ayuk at number 49. Obviously, Brandon Ayuk is a second-team All-Pro, coming off a season where he had over 1,300 receiving yards, 7 touchdowns on 75 receptions. I think you could make the case he could probably be a little bit higher on this list, just from a production standpoint, from what these guys both did last year. Now, Deebo Samuel did miss a couple games as well. But let's take a look and see where everyone else is ranked on this list. Now, I do have to spoil it a little bit, although it is cool to see the San Francisco 49ers be well represented on this list by PFF. You will clearly see that Brock Purdy is not mentioned anywhere to be seen within the top 50. Now, I am curious to see, what do you guys think about that? Do you think Brock Purdy is a top 50 player in the NFL? I know a lot of 49er fans firmly have Brock Purdy in the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL, but would you have him as one of the top 50 best players in the NFL? Curious to know what you guys think in the comments below. But as we continue to get on up to our next 49er, who is George Kittle himself, he finds himself at number 19. I'm not mad at George Kittle being at number 19. I think it could be a little bit higher. And I've always been someone who's been very consistent about believing that George Kittle is better than Travis Kelce in the sense of he's a better all-around tight end. Kittle does it all. He is a blocker. He's a pass catcher. He's a leader in the locker room. He's one of the main heartbeats of the San Francisco 49ers players. And I just really think that you can make a real argument that based on circumstances, based on situations, based on offense, based on what these guys can actually do on the field, I do think you can make the case that George Kittle is a better tight end than Travis Kelce. Now, you take in the considerations, Travis Kelce is in a, pass first offense with the best quarterback probably of this current generation, and he's the number 1 target within the offense, and all Andy Reid does is just scheme him open. So again, the same things that are met with, this guy's not that good in Kyle Shanahan's scheme because all Kyle does is scheme him up. It doesn't go both ways. It's fine. It doesn't matter. And it's, when you look at it, Travis Kelce's not that far ahead, 15. Again, I've always talked about these two as a 1A, 1B kind of scenario. I am a blocking aficionado, so I always put Kittle above Kelce as being the best pure tight end, meaning a guy who can block and catch at the highest of levels, leadership at the highest of levels. To me, Kittle's the full package. Travis Kelsey, phenomenal pass catching tight end, definitely a Hall of Famer. But again, just if we're really stripping it down to just these two individual guys and take away all the circumstances, take away it all, I still think that Kittle's better. But hey, I might get some pushback on that in the comments below. But it has been something that I've been pretty bullish about for many years now, just because I have such a high emphasis on Kittle as a blocker. But then you're going to see Christian McCaffrey ranked at number 10. You're going to see Fred Warner ranked at number 9. You got Tyreek Hill at 8. Nick Bosa pops up at number 7. You got Chris Jones, Micah Parsons, Justin Jefferson, and then Trent Williams showing up number 3 on this list. I am appreciative of Trent Williams being this high. I think when we've seen the NFL Top 100 the last 2 years, he's been 14th in both seasons. And again, I'm just fully of the mindset if you don't have Trent Williams in your top 10, then your list isn't valid, because Trent not only plays one of the most important positions outside of the quarterback position, he's the best at it. He's generationally good at it. You could make the argument he's the best to ever play the game at his position. And so when I see Trent ranked outside the top 10 in anything, to me, it just doesn't. I don't associate it with someone, a list that's credible. I feel like for me to look at a list of anything top whatever, Trent has got to be in the top 5. That's just the rules. That's just how it works, because he truly is a generational talent, walking Hall of Famer, the best at his position, and it's just not up for debate. That's just how it goes. So if you don't have Trent Williams in your top 10, you either aren't up to speed on offensive line, you don't pay attention to the offensive line, you don't care about the offensive line. That's how you sum it up. But other than that, when you look at where, Bosa's ranked, former defensive player of the year, Fred Warner is just known as being the best linebacker in football. And then, of course, Christian McCaffrey, the best running back in football. And that's what represented here. I really don't have any problems with that. I think for the most part, the rankings are all right. You could probably massage it a little better in certain areas, but for the most part, I don't have too many gripes with this. I'm just curious, where do you think Brock Purdy should be ranked realistically in all of this? Would you say he's top 100? I'm assuming you would say definitely yes to that. Is he top 75? Is he top 60? Is he literally right at the top 50? Or should he be considered in the top 50? I want to hear from you. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.